put Mao Zedong into power in '49. I remember the John Birchers were talking about that and stuff I read from the 60s and 70s. That was declassified, what, about a decade ago, and is now on History Channel. They had the old CIA section chief, who was very elderly at the time, bragging that they'd actually, put him in power because he was, quote, a stabilizing force. David Rockefeller wrote an editorial when Mao died, and the New York Times actually saying that, but not pointing out that they'd put him in. So it's so diabolical that the eugenicists that run this, they'll get to wipe out all the urban dwellers, and I don't just mean black people. They'll get to, wipe out all the yuppies, all the people they disdain, all the trendies. And then you'll have just some of the people in the countryside that they know will then fully mobilize behind this takeover. As you said, the secret weapons will be rolled out. I've talked to Bob Bowman and others that worked in Star Wars. There's no doubt that they're 20, 30 years ahead of what we even know. The public space program is an admitted front. They even admit 90% of the missions were secret. And so that's where this is all going. X-ray lasers, Shabo meteor guns, decapitation weapons that can kill all the world leaders in a matter of hours, that can even blow up bunkers, a mile and a half under a mountain. All of this, super penetrators. I myself have reverse engineered this information, and just everything you're saying is the only thing that makes sense. And then in their popular culture, you almost see a preparation for this. And now we see the elite scurrying, and even their mid-level people, to create hardened structures. So I want to talk about the time frame of this, but what about the incredible arrogance of openly using Al-Qaeda? Openly saying, because you talked about how they use, the Muslim extremist manufactured Muslim Brotherhood that goes back to British intelligence, in Lawrence of Arabia and his handlers 100 years ago or close to that. Fast forwarding now to what we see happening domestically, it's also used to set up the paramilitary checkpoints, to train us that we're all prisoners and all under suspicion, to bring in the cashless society. So it's also about that domestic agenda. And I see a key chink in the armor saying, wait, you want to fondle us when we fly and abuse our families and abuse people that, have medical prosthesis and things, that you want to break our will for Al-Qaeda, you claim, is hiding in our luggage or in our pants, but then you run Al-Qaeda in Libya and Syria. I mean, that's now admitted even in the New York Times. It's just amazing that they could have such a open paradox or oxymoron of give up your rights because of Al-Qaeda, but then the West runs Al-Qaeda against the Russians, runs them against the